Blaster.
Guys, I'm going to eat this Trader Joe's Cheeto. And then tell everyone what you just said.
You're not incorrect. It's a crunchy Cheeto. It might be the lack of gluten, the lack of preservatives. I don't know.
Gums. Everyone's against gums right now.
Oh, is that the new thing? Like the xanthan gum and the chrysanthemum gum.
Chrysanthemum gum.
I think I only know the xanthan gum, so I wasn't going to be able to give us too many more. So I went with a funny with a chrysanthemum gum.
You're hyped up.
I'm hyped up because I listened to a little bit of the Chicks on the way here, formerly Dixie Chicks, as we all know.
Formerly Dixie Chicks. Let's just say what it is. Let's say what we mean and mean what we say.
We always do.
Okay. So what we meant was Dixie Chicks. But okay, Chicks. Sure.
When I searched my Apple Music, I just went with Chicks because I didn't know if I typed Dixie Chicks, what would come up. And I was just trying to get to the song as quickly as I could.
And so when you typed in Chicks, they were the top result?
Of course. Yeah. Of course they did. But I had to listen to I'm not ready to make noise. I'm not ready to back down. Yeah. Because you shared something on our stories with it, and I've been seeing all the reels being made with it.
Yeah. I love when a song just comes back around.
Off. Yes.
And then the youths, much like Morgan, are like, what is this song? I've never heard of this before.
Right.
Because Morgan didn't know the Herbal Essence commercials. That shook me to my bones. I was like, I'm old.
It is shocking because Morgan's a solid, she is 12 years younger than I am.
Yeah.
11 or 12. 12, I think.
She's early 30s.
So it does make a difference when we are together and she doesn't know a reference. I mean, it's just a total blind spot for her. Like so much is a blind spot for me.
I wonder if this Dixie Chicks song, if Morgan remembers that. What year was that came out?
Well, it was when George Bush was president.
It's true. It was a little bit of a political song, but you walked in here playing it. You played it in the bridge.
I wanted to play the bridge.
The bridge is the best part of that song.
I queued it up for right when I walked in that it would be hitting the bridge and that we could just vibe and jam out to it. And I hadn't really said more than 4 words to anyone today.
Yeah. Oh, so you needed your voice.
I needed to get my voice kind of going on the way here. That's a pro tip for any, actors, actresses, podcasters, radio DJs, maybe, if you will. You gotta really warm the voice up.
I mean, for me, when I have not talked to anyone yet, like especially, let's say the kids go to school, Matt is off, and I'm just here alone.
Yeah.
And I haven't spoken to anyone, and then I go to leave someone a voice note. I absolutely sound like Luann.
Yeah, Luann
De La Subs. It's deep, and it might be 11:30 a.m.
That's what I'm saying. It's 12:15, and I didn't speak to somebody until I went to Chick-fil-A and placed our order. So I was like, "Can I get 2 large sweet teas with this special sweet?" Excuse me, I have a little something in my throat.
No. Now, did the Chicks remind you of Chick-fil-A?
Of course they did.
Yeah.
You see how it's all going together
okay,
here.
It makes
Thank
sense
you for
now.
Yep, because it's everything does go together. I was going to say right there, Chick-fil-A, and then a cute thing is in our family we can only say Chick-fil-A because Lily said
that's how she said
instead
it.
of fuzz.
Chick-fil-A.
Or was it Bella?
Well, I'm going to start saying that.
I feel like it was
every little vocal tick that anyone's family has. I just start doing it.
You're like Baylin on. Do you know who Baylin is? She's on TikTok, but she also has her own, I think, TLC show. But she has Tourette's.
Oh yes. So
she pops.
She hears it one time.
She hears something one time, and then it becomes a tick for her, and that's why. And only like 10% of Tourette's people have like the cussing and vulgar thing.
Yeah.
But she happens to have it. So she's like, rotisserie chicken, tap the little baby weena, the baby weena. And then like her now fiance, Colin, his mom she has a tick about his mom. And it's like, oh, what is her mom's name? But she's like, so-and-so's a fucking whore. Did she sucks dick? Like, I mean,
no.
Yes, like,
about his mom?
His mom. She has a tick about his mom.
His mom must have a great sense of humor.
I know. And it's like one of the most vulgar things you've ever said. And she has one about Colin too. Like, I think the newest one about Colin is that he sucked George Washington's teeth.
Wait.
Or gave him a blowjob. Or yeah, you know what I'm saying.
There are people who don't believe
in George Washington.
Well, that is true. Yeah. Some people don't believe in that. They think he was like an alien or something.
Okay.
But some people don't believe that she really has Tourette's in that way.
I know.
And that she's sort of embellishing it.
I know. A lot of people think that. I don't whatsoever, because I know someone, I grew up with someone with Tourette's, and then we also know someone with Tourette's.
We do.
And so we know that it is a spectrum, right? So our friend with Tourette's, it's very mild.
I mean,
you see it, you catch it. I think he would be fine if I even talked about the first time I kind of called him out on it because it was funny. But I'll save that and run that just in case.
Yes.
But then, so you have that, but then you have all the way to like a Balin. And then there are people who are probably way more severe than Balin. And her whole thing is, I can take some medication to calm it down a little bit. So she takes medication before she goes and gets her nails done. She'll take medication, but it kind of like dulls her completely. Yeah. Right.
So she doesn't want to feel like that all the time.
Yeah. I don't want to say like a tranquilizer, but similar. It calms her nervous system, I think, so much down. And her body that the tics aren't as evident. And that's how she's able to sit there and get. Now, of course, she's going to still tick, but it's not in the way of like her constantly hitting herself and things.
Yeah, that's true. Getting her nails done. Yeah, you can't be like moving around and jittery.
But then she does say like that medication just doesn't feel great. I don't feel good. I can't live on that every day. So when I do come on my TikTok and show you my outfit of the day, and I'm just going to go to lunch with Colin, or I'm going to go run errands with my mom. Yeah. I'm not going to take my like tranquilizer for my everyday life. And this is what it is. This is what my everyday life looks like.
And I think I would say for the naysayers that would be a lot to keep up with.
Absolutely.
I want you to imagine yourself being like, I'm going to put this on and I'm going to pretend that I have this thing and I'm going to go crazy with it and earn fame from it. How exhausting that would be.
Also, you can't imagine that she even set out with this grand plan to do that. When she first joined TikTok on day one, she didn't have 10,000. She wasn't in the creator program, and she was still doing all the same stuff that she is now. Some of these tics have been since childhood.
Yeah.
And her mother has video proof of it.
That's true.
Like, this isn't the first time. The TikTok didn't invent Balin. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, no, she was a child.
Mother has the proof. I think that right there. If you have the childhood proof, then
you have the proof.
TikTok didn't even exist properly when she was a kid.
Exactly. She was doing this on Vine, I'm sure, for 6 seconds.
Fine.
Rest in peace.
I know.
So she, and then TLC or whoever the show is through, I can't remember. You don't think that the production made sure that like she has this real medical condition before they greenlit a show for her?
Of course.
Come on, you guy.
And TLC is finding
everything.
Some of the wildest.
They've always been known for the wildest stuff. The wildest stuff.
I don't sit down and watch TLC. I have all the streaming.
I don't have cable.
I don't have cable, but I'm sure I am now paying more for my streaming services than cable. But okay. But every once in a while, if we're on vacation, and I'm in the hotel room and I'm clicking through, I will stop on TLC to see what's popping.
Me too.
I'm like, is it those big sisters?
Oh, yeah, the 600-pound lifers.
Yeah.
I do love going to a hotel and having cable just for those few hours.
Yeah.
And seeing, what is the rest of the world doing?
What is on TV?
What's on TV right now? What are we getting into, folks? Because all I'm hearing about is Love Island, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not. We talked about it.
We can't.
I said, Kristin, should we watch Love Island and be recapping it on Patreon? And she was very honest with me. And she said, I can't. I genuinely do not think I can commit to that. And I said, good, because I was looking for an out and you gave it to me.
I'm behind on the shows I want to be watching and seeing. And Love Island, you said it's every day.
It's like 4 or 5 days a week, an hour each.
Absolutely not. And God bless those of you that are into it. And I also think it's one of those where I would kind of need to go back to the beginning, Hilary Duff, and make sure that I know what's going on here. Who are these people? What's the origin story?
Right.
These people are matching up. Oh, this is dramatic because XYZ happened 3 years ago. Like, I don't know any of the lore.
I also am curious if I am too much of a prude for this show, because apparently their challenges are like porn.
What? Like sleeping together?
Like how many bases will you go to and how to give the perfect head or something. I don't know.
Wait, that's their challenges?
I think that there are challenges like this based on what I'm overhearing and I'm gathering and I'm context cluing. I don't think that this is a show for me. I think I'd be watching like this. You know?
I don't know about that, y'all.
So I don't know. I'm not going to get into it. It's too much. And then another person said, I was talking to somebody about this yesterday. I can't remember who. But they said you need to give it 10 to 15 episodes before it gets good.
10 to 15?
Right? That's 10 to 15 hours of your life before it gets good.
No.
I don't have that kind of patience. Y'all know I don't take my Adderall regularly enough for that. Not me.
Do they have settings on TVs where you can fast forward shows yet? Do we have that yet?
As in like a 2x speed?
Yeah, like a 2x speed for shows.
I think if you were maybe watching it on your phone.
Maybe.
Well, I guess you could go boom one time and it would act like fast forward, but you wouldn't be able to hear what they're saying.
You would miss that 10-second chunk.
Yeah.
I think that is the next thing to be added, because now we can fast forward voice notes or voice memos, and that really helps save time.
Wait.
Yeah.
You can what?
Like you can...
Like if you send me a voice note, I can listen to that now on 2x speed?
I should take that back. I don't know if actually, maybe. Hang on. Let's try something.
Okay. Well, be careful which one.
I know. Let me I'm just going to hold this down here. Okay, these, I'm not sure yet. Oh, you can save. Okay, here's what you can do. If it is a long one, you can save these to voice memos.
Okay.
And then that can go on 2x speed.
Oh, okay. That's interesting to know. I don't.
So if I do, next time I send you a 10-minute one, which has been
From the
happening
tub.
Recently.
10-minute tub time.
You can make it a 5-minute voice memo.
I'm happy to listen to you at regular speed. However long you want to give me, I'll listen.
Thank you so much.
You're so
but on
welcome.
Instagram, you can listen to them a little bit faster. I'm just saying, I think for shows, maybe someone would get into Love Island if they could 2 times through those first 10 episodes.
You know what I'm needing, speaking of this? I do love that, of course, on Reels now they've allowed us to hit that, the right side of the screen and you can speed it up a little bit. But why haven't they brought that to stories yet?
I know.
I would love to be able to 2x speed. And I'm sure people feel the same way about watching my stories. I'm including myself as the consumer and the producer here.
Please let us 2x stories.
I know.
Please let us 2x
And I got a lot of dots. I know some people are rolling their eyes at me, but hey, this is my job. And I take it seriously. Yeah. And I have to give you content.
But if more people would watch because they could 2 times through it,
wouldn't that be helpful? But I guess Instagram, there must be a reason why that's not an option either yet or at all, because they want people on their app for as long as possible. So why would they encourage a sped up version?
You're right.
Right? So that's something to think about. Okay, but the thing that we started with, I think 15 minutes ago here
is the Cheetos.
The Trader Joe's Cheetos.
Let's go back to the Trader Joe's Cheetos. So I just opened this bag. It is very fresh. Can be. They're very crunchy, crispy, and I like that. Y'all know I don't want anything roughing up the roof of my mouth. Right. I don't want to be bleeding.
Like a club sandwich.
I do not want that.
That's tough.
Do not. But I like a crispy, like I like my bananas. I want them crunchy.
Oh, God. Not that again. I can't even think about the scent of that. It's just pungent.
It's so good.
Anyway,
okay, so then you said...
Yeah. You're like, oh, they're so crunchy. And I'm like, well, then I'm probably not going to like that because there are a handful of foods that I prefer stale over fresh.
I can't think of anything, but give me some examples because I can't think of anything I want stale.
And that's cheese ball.
No.
I want it to...
cheese ball.
I want to be able to put my thumb in it and have an indentation. I want it almost like bouncy. I like a cheese ball stale. I like popcorn stale.
No.
Yep. I prefer popcorn. So when we go to the movie theater, if there's popcorn left over in the bag, we bring it home. I put it on the counter. I like it to sit 4 days, let's say. Then I go back into it and it's stale. You can bend it in half. That I like my popcorn like that. I like
electric chair.
Listen, I like it fresh too. I'll eat it both ways, but I think I prefer it stale.
I don't think anyone will agree with you on this.
I don't expect anybody to. I believe this to be Miranda core to the chorist. I don't think so either. I'm not even going to listen. I'm not even campaigning for support here. I don't think I'm going to get it. I'm not going to set myself up for disappointment. But if there is someone out there and you are like me and you do prefer some of your food stale, you know what? I love that. And I don't think I'm going to find it.
Okay, slide into the DMs. This is like when she told us that she was eating raw potatoes as a kid.
I love raw potatoes. I ate some 2 nights ago.
You were like slicing off bits of raw potato.
People love raw potatoes, by the way. People love raw potatoes.
Who came alongside you on that?
Chime in the comments, chat. That's what we're supposed to say now. Chat. Not group, peeps, chat. Whatever, chat.
Hey, chat. How's it going?
Hey, podcasts, but really, hey, pod chats.
It still counts. There's a C-A-N-T. There's a C-A-N-T.
As opposed to a C-U-N-T, which is much better.
Did I tell you that I called into Heather's Absolutely Not line and told her that you ate raw potatoes and it was an absolutely
No, you did not.
She never
played it? It's probably because she loves raw potatoes.
Well, I thought either way this would get a reaction from Heather because she's serious about her food.
Yeah.
And so I called. This was like the day you told me, and I was so upset. And I was like, I'm calling Heather. And I was like, hey, I have an absolutely not. My best friend just told me she snacks on raw potatoes, and I need your take on this.
I prefer, of all potatoes, sure, I like a fry. I like a scallop. I might like them raw with salt on them better.
Whoa.
Sick.
Something's wrong with you.
Something has changed within me.
Something is not the same.
I was raised on them. I think that they're just nostalgic. I was raised on them. Hold on.
Do you ever crunch on uncooked pasta?
Oh my gosh, no, but Bella does.
Yeah, so Lachlan loves to get like a spaghetti
noodle
and just crunch it like he's an old Westerner, and he's got a
no for me.
spaghetti noodle hanging out of his mouth.
It's a no for me on that, but Bella loves it. Sometimes she'll use it and like be picking at. I'm like, what are you doing?
The toothpick.
And then I'm like, are you using a spaghetti noodle as a toothpick? She's like, no, but I like to crunch on it. So I'm like, well, it's in my mouth. I might. Weird. Hold on. I'm calling. Hey, Mom.
Hey.
Can I record you?
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Oh, boy, Mary.
Mom, what, let's just see. Growing up, and even to this day, what is a raw vegetable that you like to eat?
Oh, my God. My favorite is a potato.
Thank you. Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome.
With a little bit of what?
Salt. Oh, a lot of salt.
A lot of salt.
For my mom, a lot of salt. For me, I just need a little light dusting.
She didn't even begin to entertain
Carrot,
a
broccoli, a cauli, a green bean, a snap,
potato.
a potato. Mom, did you raise us on this?
Yes.
Of course.
Okay. Are y'all slicing them up, or are you eating them fist?
Cut in half, kind of like you make like
a wedge?
Not even, sure, it could be a wedge, but really it's more like when you cut in half, and you have like kind of the quarter, I don't know what shape you would call it, but
okay.
Do you have any potatoes here?
No.
Oh, damn. Well, I ate raw potatoes 2 nights ago when I was making some roasted potatoes, but I started with raw and I snacked on those until the oven was ready.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong about this.
I have to make extra. I always have to plan an extra because I'm going to eat at least 1 and maybe 2 by the time I'm done.
Correct. Absolutely.
Oh, the podcasts, we're going to need to know what y'all think of this because we talked about this years ago.
Mom, we talked about this on a former podcast. Yeah. The prior one. A past. Sure. A past podcast. Kristin was so horrified by it. She called into Heather McMahon's Absolutely Not line to talk about it.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Wow.
Mom, are you with Jackie?
Yes.
Okay. Can you put her on the phone? Has she heard this conversation?
She has paid me no attention.
Great. Hand her the phone.
Right. Mic her up.
Hey, Keeks. Hey, I have a random question for you. Okay. What is a raw vegetable we were raised on to eat that's one of your favorites?
Potatoes.
Thank you.
I cannot with this family. I cannot.
Eat them now.
Yeah, we still eat them now. With a little bit of what?
Salt.
There you go.
And it grosses Greg out.
Okay, thank you, Greg.
They're not even washed.
Oh, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. The dirt is good.
The dirt is good. Okay. Is Dad in there?
Yes.
Is he paying attention to us?
Not really.
Okay, hand him the phone.
Okay. Oh, Dad. Hang on.
Hello.
Hey, Dad.
Man.
Hey, what's a raw vegetable that you like to eat before you cook it?
Raw vegetable that I like to eat before I cook it.
Mm-hmm. What's like one of your favorite vegetables to eat raw?
I would say a pepper.
Okay. But how do you feel about a potato?
I I feel okay about a potato.
Do
I don't eat them raw like your mother does.
Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't know that you were the outlier here, Dad.
Wait, so do you think your brother, like maybe the men of your family are not eating them raw, but the women are?
Thank you, Dad. I got to call John. Bye.
Bye. So now we got to know.
Now we got to call John. Don't you love nepotism? My whole family. Now, the likelihood of my brother picking up this phone is 0 to 0.1%.
Okay, but let's
see.
Let's just see if he does.
This is what the catnaps are all about.
This will be a
little bit
family reunion.
It will be.
What's up?
Hey, John.
Hey.
Can I record you real quick for our pod?
Oh, dear Lord.
Okay. It's not anything about the military or top secret anything.
Oh, good. I don't need to be a national security advisor.
No.
no.
I would never do that to you.
It's actually the opposite of anything like that.
It's the least serious thing. Okay, John. What is a vegetable that we grew up eating raw? Like we eat it cooked too, but a vegetable that we like to eat raw.
Potatoes.
Thank you. Do you like them?
I still do.
Still do. Thank you, John. With a little bit of what?
A little bit of salt.
Thank you. Okay, love you.
Bye.
Bye.
I can't. The way each of you said, little bit of salt, little bit of salt, little bit of salt, little bit of salt. You all said it the exact same way. Obviously, the genes from Mary are coming down very strong. Very strong on that, Mary.
Very strong. Hold on, one more person. Hold on. This is just because this is what the catnaps are about.
Yeah,
we
do
can
it.
be a little bit loosey goosey with this.
Yeah,
okay?
well, loosey-goosey any old time.
Apple juicy. Let's see. Joshua's literally just landed on a plane. I don't know if he's still sitting on the tarmac. We'll see if he answers.
This is a good time to call people.
Yeah, I guess. He's having lunch
because it's lunchtime. I mean, it sounded like they were all snacking on potatoes when we called.
They probably.
Jackie's like, I'm eating one right now.
You've reached Joshua.
But it grosses Greg out.
So, but you don't know Josh's stance on this? I mean, obviously he's seen you do this.
I think Joshua loves a raw potato. I feel like he was raised on eating raw potatoes.
Yeah,
as well.
I could see that for Josh.
I also think that it could be a little bit socioeconomic. Potatoes have always been very affordable.
Absolutely.
That's why I think we had them at every meal. Whether
we ate a lot of potatoes.
we ate a lot of potatoes.
But we always had them cooked or mashed or steamed.
I'm shocked. This feels like a Pam thing. This feels like something she would eat.
It actually does feel very Southern.
Yes.
To eat a raw.
But my mom's a Yankee.
Raw cabbage, raw anything, I think does feel very Southern. I remember years ago, I went to my pastor's house and they had a little vegetable garden and he handed me a cabbage. And for the rest of the day at his house, I was eating that cabbage.
No.
Down to the end, like down to the hard wooden part of it.
Would you still do that?
No, but
Because I do love cabbage. We talked about it in our Reuben video.
love cabbage.
Love cabbage.
I like cabbage lots of different ways.
I do too. I really, if it's going to be raw though, I don't want to eat it just raw dog. I want it in like a slaw. Or, it just needs a bit of a dressing, whether that's a vinaigrette or a mayonnaise based one. But I do need something wet on it.
Do you like, if you have to pick a slaw,
Okay.
do you like a white mayonnaise slaw or a red slaw? Tell me now.
Okay. Gosh, this is really hard. This is a hard decision for me because I like that tang of a red vinegar one.
Yes.
I like that it just makes you pucker in your mouth.
There's nothing like it.
There is nothing like it. But then that, as long as it's not too mayonnaise-y. And I like mayo, but like sometimes it's too much mayonnaise in the slaw. I like it when it looks watery.
Yeah. I do too.
I'm okay with it looking watery.
Yeah.
But you put that on a barbecue sandwich.
The creamy slaw. I
like both.
I like both, and I really struggle when we do parties here. And if we order like the barbecue platter,
a pulled pork platter,
and it's like choose your slaw.
You got to do both.
I'm saying choose your fighter. I mean, how am I supposed to choose
your favorite child?
Yeah. I have to pay 20 extra to get the leader of the red slaw to make sure I have both on my plate.
Same. I do want both, but if you had to break, if we have to pick, okay, on the count of, I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, you're either going to say red or white, okay? If we have to break, 3, 2, 1, white.
So I what that means for
We
us.
love when we disagree. See? That's how you do it, folks. It's possible.
It's fun to disagree about anything.
By the way, I have to compliment you on this fit. It's so good. Have I not seen you in this dress before?
This is a funny. It's not that funny, but it's a story.
And that's what we're here to tell.
Story. We were leaving our last day in Denver. We had the whole big day with Matt's brother Derek, and we had said goodbye to him. We swung by the mall to like just bebop around because it was right there.
Because there's a mall.
There's a mall. And so, shocker, didn't buy a thing. I was worried my luggage already wasn't going to work.
I was concerned. With all the bags I was seeing you post and all the shopping, I said, did she bring a whole extra bag for goodies?
I did not, and we made it work. We made it work. Everything ended up fine, but I knew, I'm like, I can't be at the mall tearing it up.
No.
But we just milled about. Anyway, on the way out, we were passing some athletic store, but I spied with my eye.
Yeah.
Right in the middle.
Yep.
An Adidas red athletic dress. And I said, I love that. And I showed it to Matt as we walked. He said, I love that. Look it up. See if you can find it. I said, sure.
Yes.
I got it for like 40%
Shut
off
up.
online. Isn't that fun?
It looks so good. Well, you know, I'm a sucker for red and pink together.
Yes.
I almost brought that bag with my stuff, but I didn't need that big of a bag. I mean, I can fit in that bag. I didn't need it to hold stuff here. But I do love red. And did you hear what I said on my story? Probably not because of Opal. But my mom always has an affinity for pink and red things because when she was growing up, my Oma, her mom, would say that like patterns and little girls who wore those two colors together always look like a sticky lollipop.
A sticky lollipop.
Because like this is the color, but then when you lick it and it's shiny, it kind of pinkens up. So she called them a sticky lollipop. So I'm kind of a sucker. So if my Oma saw you in this, she would say, you look like a sticky lollipop.
Okay, next time I'm going to see your mom, I'll wear
Isn't that
this.
cute?
So
Yeah, my mom will love that.
Yeah.
But I'll send a picture maybe to my Oma and you in it.
I was
you in it.
really
I'll send a picture to my Oma of you in it.
What are we at? We're okay. I was really hoping.
Oh, but hold on, it's Joshua.
Oh, Josh.
Hey, babe.
Hey,
Can I record you real quick?
sure.
Okay, babe. I'm pretty sure the answer is yes to this. Were you raised on raw potatoes? Eating raw potatoes?
Eat raw potatoes all the time.
All the time. You still like to?
Yeah, still eat them.
With a little bit of
Salt and pepper.
there you go.
Oh, and the pepper.
Well, you know he loves pepper.
Joshua loves salt and pepper.
But pepper, I think, babe, if you had to pick, I know it's hard. This is another Sophie's choice here.
Okay.
Salt or pepper. If you could only have one for the rest of your life to season your food with, what you going with?
Pepper.
Pepper.
Yeah.
That's how much he loves pepper.
I have watched Joshua douse food. You know, but I learned from him. Like, I think I saw him douse some sort of salad with salt and pepper. And ever since that time, I've been doing that. And it really makes the salad better.
He doesn't eat dressing, so he just likes salt and pepper.
Oh, it's so good.
Docker alert.
Stalker.
It is. When I'm dying, Joshua, I'm going to think back and I'll just see you with those two the salt shaker and the pepper shaker. Just
Okay, babe. We'll talk to you later.
Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Did you see that? I don't think you did. The reel where the girl takes the standard salt and pepper shakers that you see in the diners.
Yeah.
They're clear with the silver top.
Yeah.
She puts the bottoms together.
Okay.
So the salt bottom is sitting on top of the pepper bottom. And when you turn them together, it makes it come out because of those ridges on the bottom of the shakers.
Okay. So you never seen this before?
No.
Okay.
Was that intentionally designed like that, or?
I think that it's clever to say that it was on Reels right now when people are like, these are hacks you didn't know existed in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And so basically what Kristin is saying is if you have, the clear salt and pepper shakers, and you'll notice that on the bottom of those glass containers, there's like little ridges.
Yeah.
And so if you're to invert one, so like let's say you're trying to put pepper on your food, then you're supposed to put the salt on top, and the ridge against the ridge is what's supposed to make the salt or pepper come out a little bit faster. It looks legit,
but I feel in fear that since I've seen that, I haven't been somewhere that had that exact type.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, if you have these two exact shakers, then you can use this hack. I don't know that that's exactly what it was designed. I think it was just a pretty bottle to have a little bit of that ridge on the bottom.
Well, we're going to find out. I'm really going to be paying attention as I go out into the world and eat.
Pay attention, please.
Please.
Now, I will say they are right about if you have like an herb in a shaker, like just in the plastic shaker, instead of trying to shake like like this, if you do twist the little plastic part back and forth, the herbs
Yes.
do come out much faster
Yeah,
that way.
I liked that.
But my thing is, I'm usually not even kind of shaking, I think, stuff. When I'm making a recipe, I'm measuring. So I'm popping off that thing anyway and putting my
Yeah.
teaspoon measure in it.
Yeah.
So again, that's not a hack that I'm using all that often. Not often enough to make a reel about it.
Well, you know, people say it's like there's a difference between a pinch and a dash.
Yeah.
And all these different ingredients.
I know.
You
Teresa.
know, I don't necessarily trust myself to be like, well, what's a dash
I know.
of oregano? I don't know.
It's really just going to be to taste. Now, if it were something that had heat in it, like a crushed red pepper flake
Yeah.
or cayenne pepper or something like that, then, you know, a dash to one person might be very different to the other. And so that's the only time that I'd be like really, really err on the smaller side, the small less side of what you think a dash
Yeah,
is, or else
yeah.
you're going to heat up that dish so much that it might not even make it palatable.
I don't really like oregano.
You don't? Really?
I know some. I mean, I love Italian food. And so I know a lot of that, you know, involves oregano, but
Do you like the sauteed veggies at a Chipotle or something like that? Because they are doused in oregano. That their main spice is oregano.
I don't think I like that.
Oh boy,
I don't know. There's
I'm gonna
something-
have to remember that because when I make fajitas,
You put oregano in there?
my vegetables that I make for fajitas are doused in oregano because that's the main spice that all of our traditional, grill 'em up places puts on them, and that's what makes them so yummy and flavorful.
Well, let me try yours. I don't know. Maybe
You'll
I
love
just,
mine.
like I feel like oregano that's, I guess, fresh is very different to me than
It is.
the dried oregano.
Yeah. No, dried oregano I think is superior to fresh. And it's just one of those herbs where that's not always the case. A lot of times,
Yeah.
like, of course, I'm going to like a fresh basil.
A basil.
Of course.
A
or fresh
rosemary.
mint. Yes.
Yeah.
But like oregano, no one's really like ripping that off and tossing it into their salad.
Yeah, that's
or
true.
anything.
That's true.
So it is much better dried and then used as a dried herb.
Okay, well,
And I
I'm
should have said
willing-
herb instead of spice earlier. And
Oh, yeah.
I don't want y'all to come for me.
I'm sure someone was scribbling.
Not
that
as the
down.
food authority on this here podcast. You're not going to catch me slipping. Thank you for the Taco Bell.
Okay, you guys. So speaking of food, I have been wanting Miranda to share.
We have some updates from the McDonald's goodbye party in general. We
Yes.
do have some updates that I feel like we left you on some cliffhangers here.
Yeah, we left you guys on red.
Yeah.
And we
Sorry.
said, "Oh no, Gigi and Sean are moving. We're doing the party. We're gonna have this. We're gonna have that. We're gonna do the cake and the limeade and the whole thing."
Oh, gosh. And then one thing after another happens. The wheels fell off completely, and I was rendered with the worst case of diarrhea.
This side of the Mississippi.
Yeah.
Or
That
maybe-
I've had in quite at least since the Statue of Liberty. So
Yeah. So here's the first hiccup:
yeah,
was the pickle lemonade.
so devastating, y'all.
The pickle lemonade is gone.
Popeyes. That was a limited time offering, and I know that's going to please Dana so much because she didn't like it to begin with.
Yeah, Dana said, "Leave,
But we did.
get out," and Popeye said, "Yes, ma'am."
Yep.
And so they got rid of that. We weren't able to
They
do.
took
the-
it out of
the
their
vodka.
Louisiana kitchen.
They were this close to making it go viral because we were going to stick the vodka in it
we
and
were.
make it a whole thing,
And
and
that's on them.
it never happened.
And now they'll never know.
they'll never know.
And we'll never know what it tasted like with vodka. But yeah, so I drove to Popeyes.
Yeah.
In the midst of the chaos of trying to get everything ready, the eggs and the cake and everything. And drove there and they said, oh no, that was a limited time offering. So we weren't able to do that. We're really, really sad about it.
Yeah.
But don't worry. Still found other ways to drink. So then,
Tell them about the cake.
okay, then about the cake. Y'all already heard the trepidation in my voice that how was I going to make this happen? Keep in mind, Joshua had just come back from a 19-day trip being gone in Vegas.
Yes.
The day I think I picked him up from the airport and then was like, if I go home right this second, set out all of the ingredients and the butter and then maybe I'll be able to make this happen. And I just said, what are you doing?
No.
Like, is this how I want to spend the next 6 hours of awake time now that he's just gotten home? No, I didn't.
And I would never want you to do that.
No, you don't want that for my marriage.
Family first.
Thank you.
Family first, always.
So I went to Suarez at Park Road Shopping Center. They always have like 6-inch cakes ready to go.
Yes.
And they had a chocolate with buttercream. It was perfect.
It was
It
perfect.
looked beautiful.
It was gorgeous. And we had a cute little topper and it was great. So you really came through on
What did the topper say?
It said later traders.
Later traders. It was really funny. So that was fine. So no, I didn't make the cake, but I took care of purchasing, picking up, and making sure that it would get to the house on time. And, you know, the cake stands and all that.
Yes.
So that was fine. That was great. The party was wonderful.
Yeah. Had a great time. We all chit-chatted.
I did at one point crash out when we started looking through
Yep.
a current foe, former friend.
Current.
That's the title.
That's the title. Current foe.
Current foe.
Woo! Yes.
Looking through her stuff, and I just crashed out for a minute.
You did crash out, and
Yep.
it was so funny.
The reel was hysterical. That was such a funny reel. Okay, but y'all had heard us discuss, and this is why I do have to watch my words, because I guess I can manifest a little harder than I thought I could.
You absolutely manifested this.
I did. But y'all heard on the episode, Kristin saying, hey, we're going to do these CBD drinks that I have. We are several flavors. Let's do like a little taste test between all the girls and see which ones we like the most. But then also you had some Prosecco.
Yeah.
And so you're like, we could put a little bit of the CBD drink into the Prosecco and make like a fun like little cocktail. And I said, yeah, so we're getting litty titty. Like we're doing it and that's fine because I need a little clearing out. And anytime I drink, I know the next day I'm just going to have a good amount of clearing out. Nothing painful, nothing that's going to cause any alarms.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
Nothing like gory, but
No.
you knew it would be a little loose and you were okay with that. And it was on the record that she was, maybe I would say looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it. I sure was. I was summoning it. I mean, I really, truly was.
That's so
I said, here I am, Lord. It is I, Lord. I have heard you calling in the night. And I was calling in the night out to him at one point. So I get to Kristin's house. We start having these little CBD drinks with the Prosecco. I don't have much. My second glass got knocked over.
I know. Do you
remember this?
You really didn't have.
I think I had one full champagne flute, which is not big.
Yeah.
My second glass of making it got knocked over. So clean that up. And then at this point, I just went and grabbed one of the CBD drinks.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I was just sipping on that the rest of the night. That's it. That's it. That's all I had.
That's it. And you ate everything else we all ate.
Exactly.
That's the other key to this, I think, is that we all ate the same things.
Correct. I had the chicken nuggies.
Yeah.
I had the salad. And then I had a couple bites of cake.
Yeah.
I
All the
didn't
same.
eat any of my eggs. Oh, update on the eggs. I did make the egg sliders, the BLT egg sliders.
And
What did you think?
They were a hit. They were gone in seconds.
Yeah.
Everyone descended on them.
Jen Davis asked me for the recipe the next day. That's when you know you got a winner.
They were so good, so protein packed. The pickle plus the bacon on the egg.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, real good.
You need to share that with the world.
I will. I'll share the recipe. I'll make a little reel about it.
Please do.
And then I'll share it with y'all. So all good things. But I didn't eat any of those, but basically everything else everyone ate. And I knew even if I had eaten an egg that it would have been fine. I made them that day.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
There was nothing that was going to be bad about them. And so I get home. I'm all good. I'm not feeling any bad way.
Yeah.
I'm fine. Talking to the kids, blah, blah, blah. We eventually go to bed. At 3 a.m.,
The evil hour.
I wake up to a stabbing pain so sharp in my stomach, I thought I was being murdered. I was like, for sure, someone broke into our house and is stabbing me to death. But that's the only logical explanation. I think I started dreaming that I was being stabbed. And then I finally woke up and was like, "Wah!" Like just like a preemptive, like, I'm going to kill you. You're trying to stab me.
It was the current foe.
And instead, yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. And instead, I woke up and I was like, oh no, that's me. That's the rumbly tumbly. Okay, that's me. And you're trying to ignore it. Okay, well, if I can fall back asleep, if I can just fall back asleep.
Oh, that feeling.
I could not. I could not fall back asleep. I said, this is an SOS. Let's get to the bathroom and let's see if we can exorcise this demon from our body. And I tried. I was on the toilet. I was, releasing some stuff, but it wasn't solving the problem.
Yeah, the pain was still there.
The pain was still there. And the best thing I could compare it to, and I told you way back on Titty on the Toilet.
Yes.
The only way I could compare it was that appendicitis pain. That just acute stabbing.
Yes.
Something has to get out of me. Something has changed within me and it needs to get out.
Yes.
That kind of pain. And it didn't
But you
matter
knew
what
it wasn't the appendix.
I knew it's already gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't that. I'm like, could it be gallbladder? Could it be this? Could it be a kidney stone?
Yeah.
Like, what is it? What is it? What is it? And I knew it couldn't have been the alcohol because I just didn't drink enough for that kind of pain.
Yeah.
And so I went through this for hours, just hours and hours and hours, in and out of bed, in and out of bed. I eventually just set up on the couch so that I wouldn't, disturb Joshua, even though he sleeps like the dead. But I still was just kind of like in and out. I was laying down on the bathroom floor. I kind of made a little makeshift bed on the floor. Up, down, tried to puke, tried to do everything. I just couldn't get whatever this pain was out of my body. And of course you're starting to think, well, could it be food poisoning? Well, I'll know eventually. I'll write Kristin in the morning or some of the other girls and be like, hey, is everybody good? But no one else was writing saying, nope, we're having no issues.
Yeah. Everybody was fine.
So I knew it couldn't be that. And I went from 3 a.m., I think until about 3 p.m. in just writhing in pain, so much diarrhea, all that stuff was finally starting to come out of me. And I just thought, this is the time I'm going to feel better when I finally get this out, I mean, it had turned to blood.
I mean, was what bad. Started to scare me.
That's when I wrote you.
She's texting me in real time and you're like, okay, at this point, it's literally just blood coming out of me.
It is.
And that's when we had to do what? We had to go to ChatGPT.
This one, she goes, well, have you Googled it? I said, no, I don't Google medical things ever. I don't want to know. It's always going to be the worst case scenario. It's going to tell me I'm dying. I need to go to the ER.
I know, but I'm like, if the blood is a dripping.
And Joshua said, Miranda, is this the time? Like, do I need to take you to the ER now?
I think you were minutes away from making that decision.
At what point does your howl translate into take me to the hospital now? Yeah, it was that. It was. I mean, I made less noise delivering both of my children.
Yeah,
like the pain was worse than that. And so I said, no, I don't want to go there. That's not going to help me. That's not what this is. So Kristin goes, all right, I know you're not going to Google it, but I will ChatGPT it.
Yeah,
and she said, just tell me some of the stuff. Tell me more of what it's feeling. What are you going through? What did you take yesterday? And then it finally clicked in my head. I said, remember when I came to your house, I sat outside, we poured the first drink, and I said to you, I don't even know if I should do this because I've had such a bad headache all day. Mm-hmm. I said, I've taken 4 Excedrin. I took 2 in the morning, and then I took 2 right on the way to your house.
Yep.
I said, I've taken 4 Excedrin, and it's really not touching the headache pain. I don't even know if I should drink this. And what I resigned myself to is like, well, I'm not going to have FOMO.
You're not going to have FOMO. You're
Everyone's taste testing all these flavors.
Yeah, you're not going to come to the party and not have a little drink. And I'll say my head, I'm like, a CBD drink, this is all natural. Yeah. This is not going to interact with Excedrin or alcohol or whatever. It's just.
But we didn't even think about it at that point. We're like, well, Miranda takes Excedrin all the time. Yeah. And it has no, what is it? Not cross contamination, but it doesn't have any bad interactions with me. I can kind of do anything on Excedrin. It's like my magic medicine. And so we didn't even think about it. But when I said that, you were like, now let me put that into ChatGPT and see, does a CBD drink and Excedrin go together?
Yeah. Could these things somehow cause a problem? And I also thought, what if you have a sensitivity or almost an allergy to one of these ingredients?
Because I've never taken CBD whatsoever. Okay, in any way.
So I literally scanned a picture of the can and sent it over to ChatGPT. So it's got the CBD isolate and extract, erythritol, which is just a sugar alcohol.
Does it have xanthan gum?
Oh, it might. It might.
Bringing it back.
American ginseng extract, ginkgo.
Ginkgo.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then many, many words of types of mushrooms. Reishi, lion's mane, Shisandra.
Because this was a CBD thing without THC. This was just like and not even like shrooms in like the psychedelic form, but everybody's making everything with mushrooms.
Yeah, well, they call it the adaptogens.
Yeah, the
These
adaptogens.
herbal adaptogens
Yeah.
and mushrooms. They're generally safe in moderate doses. They may interact with medications or called GI upsets, allergic reactions, or clotting issues in some cases.
And here's the clotting problem. Because once if that is already doing that, unless you take 4 Excedrin, which are, what are they called? NSAIDs? NASIDs. Those also thin your blood. That's what they do. That's how they help your headaches, is they thin your blood. And so you combine the Excedrin with the CBD drink.
Yep.
And Kristin was like,
uh-oh.
SOS. alert. This is the problem, and this is why your GI is struggling to process it, because you've thinned the blood so much, and that's why it's pouring out of you. And I will say, there was another point in which I think you had looked up, like, is it bright blood or is it dark blood? And so it was still bright. Dark is more like, okay, it's actually ripping like the interior linings of your stomach versus just like maybe what's ever down in your anus.
Yes. It's just like an anus irritation.
And it was ripping my fissure open, I think. And that's where the bright red blood was coming from and everything. So I kind of knew that. That actually wasn't concerning me as much, but I did say to Kristin, I won't send you those pictures. I did show my mother them and get her opinion. And she was like, you're fine.
She's like, take a swig of antibiotic and move on.
As always, Mary, you're fine. You'll
fine.
Get over it. Yeah, if it's bright, yeah, we're fine. But she was watching me writhe in pain because those were the Tony's nights, and I wanted to watch them. So Lily and I went over to my parents.
But you were still struggling that next night.
Oh, by 9 p.m. I was still. Lily was like, "Mom, I really think we should take you to the hospital at some point." I was like, "Nope,
no,
I fought it out this long, baby."
You're like, I'm gonna watch Hamilton.
I am. I'm not missing it.
Yeah.
This is a reunion that we have been waiting years for. I'm not missing it.
It's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Okay.
A noose blood, be darned.
Be darned.
Okay, but this does say adding these two things together makes bleeding more likely from the stomach or intestines.
Yeah.
All of this combined because of the ginkgo, the ginseng, the CBD all together. So this is a teachable moment.
It is a teachable moment. That's why I'm sharing it with you guys, is because maybe if you're someone like me, here's the thing. I think if I just had not had a headache and didn't take any Excedrin, I think I could have drank these things and probably been just fine.
Yep.
If I had just had my Excedrin and not drank these things, I would have been just fine.
Yeah.
It just was the two things together. So be very careful about that sort of stuff. That's something I'm not an alarmist about.
And you never have tummy trouble.
That's exactly what we said. I don't. I do have a stomach of steel. So anytime my stomach hurts, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Huh? That's not me.
That's crazy.
This is a core tenet of my personality.
It is.
That I do not have tummy troubles.
It is.
Because I do think it's funny. All the reels that are made, about women, it's like, just me and my tummy troubles against the world.
It's
like,
so true.
I that's not my journey. And it is yours. And so we're a good balance. And I'm like, no. I'll take that. I'll eat it. That's why in Extracted, I'll just eat the stuff.
Yeah.
You don't. I'll do it. My stomach will process this just fine. Until this.
Well, make sure you don't have any of these adaptogens out in the wild, I guess, is what I'm thinking.
Well, I'm not going to worry too much about that for now, but I am going to also not worry about drinking, I think, much more the CBD things.
I think so. I mean, we do have more. You want to go just crack a cold one open?
No, thank you.
Give it a little taste?
No, thank you.
Okay.
I think I still have a little bit of PTSD from that, and I'm going to give it a little bit more time.
You're going to hold space.
I am going to.
Okay.
But anyway, that is the update on the party. I got exactly what I asked for and more. And I will never do that again. I mean, Kristin was editing the episode and was like, Miranda, I said, no, I know. No, it's haunted me. The second I woke up thinking I was being stabbed to death by a murderer, I said, I asked for this. I asked for this. I did this.
I wanted loose stool.
I did. I said it, and I will never do that again. I need to really, and we teach our kids this. You got to be careful with your words.
You do.
And I now know that my words have power.
They do.
And it took me until this moment to realize my words have power, and I'm going to use them much more wisely from now on. And next time I say a little bit of diarrhea, you feel free to smack me.
Yeah.
Feel free to smack me.
Where none of us, no podcat is ever going to ask for a little bit of diarrhea.
No,
henceforth.
Henceforth, that is a rule now going in the ats core appendix.
Yes.
Oh.
Appendix.
Yeah.
That's the right word, right?
I was thinking addendum. But
appendix.
But appendix makes sense. And so much has come back together today, from appendix to George Washington, Hamilton. I mean, look at what we're doing here.
Chick-fil-A.
This is just, it's a master. It's a
master class?
It's a master class. Thank you. It's a master class in semantics.
And in podcasting.
I mean, obviously, we're an educational podcast.
Do you love that reel I posted? The guy that makes fun of podcasts?
Yes, so funny.
I'm obsessed with that man.
No, it's so funny. He's wearing so many things on his head, and I feel like that. I feel
thought
like
of you.
Yeah, I did.
At one point, he has 5 headphones stacked on top of each
Imagine
other.
how bad my ears would hurt with 5 pair. I mean, they already hurt with 1.
I said it's a little at's niche because at one point he's taking notes, and it's a full-blown candelabra he's taking notes with, but the candles are all lit.
I'm like, is he watching? Like, I just want people to come forward and say that they're watching.
Yeah, just say that you love our show. This is our show.
It's our show. Well, it's our on-air show.
Yeah, that y'all don't need cable for. So you're welcome. This is all free.
You're welcome. Another thing Lin-Manuel wrote.
All right, we got to go.
Boing.
Boing.